Good morning, it's 9 o'clock, October 23rd, 2023, and our regular Commissioners Court meeting is now in session. First item on the agenda is roll call by our County Clerk, Mary Jane Villalpano. And Mary Jane, good morning.
Good morning, Judge Commissioners.
Morning.
Okay.
Morning.
Judge Rathmo,
Present.
Commissioner Mendoza,
Present.
Commissioner Morales, Commissioner Solis,
Present.
and Commissioner Garza.
Present.
We have a quorum, Judge.
Thank you, Mary Jane. Next item is our invocation by Dr. Roger Miller, Commissioners Court Chaplain. Dr. Miller, good to see you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
If you bow your heads with me this morning as we pray. Our Father who provides, we again seek your wisdom this day and your involvement in the matters before these assembled leaders. So first, Father, help us to quiet our hearts and our minds as we prepare for the work before this court. And as we quiet ourselves, prepare us so that we may also hear you today and may also hear each other. May those who have been chosen as our leaders be receptive to your voice this day and also fully aware of the responsibilities and the duties which they carry as the community's representatives. Remind us all today that the service to each other is your ideal. So Father, may you guide this court and the decisions which today must be made, which impacts the future of our community. May you provide wisdom and understanding, patience and boldness, courage and compassion as they lead. And we thank you for your hand which both leads and protects. And in Christ's name we humbly ask these things. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, Dr. Miller.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I think it's starting a little early. That's fine. For the record, Commissioner Morales is
Present.
We'll move on to communications, Commissioners. Any communications you'd like to share with the public at this time?
I know that we have some activities coming up this week for the kids, for part of the community for the Halloween. I know we have something here this week and then San Ignacio on Sunday. So, and then of course, we want to be safe next week out there when we're trick-or-treating.
Might have some bad weather, looks like maybe some rain and some cold weather, so
For
hopefully
next
there's
week?
yes, for Halloween actually.
Saturday, starting Saturday.
Saturday, but cooler weather, well, we'll take the cooler weather.
Yeah, we'll take that. And we'll take the rain.
Well,
We still
maybe
need.
not on Halloween night.
Well, yeah. Eso sí,
But, I think, it's not on the agenda because, it kind of crept up on us, but, I did see, I think it's almost become an annual event now there on, near the Pavilion Fairgrounds. I think, there's been a family or some business owners that have put together I guess a Halloween, is it a haunted house that the public is invited to?
Yes.
I don't know if we need to take a closer look at that, because initially, I think this may be the third year that this event moves forward. Eventually, it was open to the public, folks could just go in and the kids would just enjoy themselves through that haunted house. My understanding is now there's a fee associated with going through that event. And if the individuals start charging, I think the county, we have an obligation to come in, step in for liability purposes and see exactly what, if it's not free to the public, I think then they need to put the thing on.
To reconsider. Yeah, but I know that what they already have set up is for the public to go by and.
Oh, that's at their residence,
The
right?
residents.
But I know they set up like a drive-through.
That area between the.
Yeah, where the carnival sets up, yeah.
Yeah, I know they've done it for.
Well, a couple of years now. Initially, it was free to the public, and I think the court had agreed to allow them. And of course, they did provide liability insurance that they would, things happen
Correct.
unfortunately. But now it is, I think, my understanding is, last year, the event, there was a fee to go through that haunted house. And certainly, then we need to treat them just like any other vendor, and bring them before the court and charge a fee to use our county facilities.
I think that last year, the previous year, the.
Deputies? Or?
No, the high school, the one act play, I think, had like a little fundraiser there.
Okay.
That's what it was, but I don't know if
Okay,
it's true
well,
or
we
not.
just can gather some more
We can
information.
just gather more
I
information.
had some requests from the public to I had some calls come in this week. I said, well, they haven't come before the court to request the use of the county's land, but certainly I'll bring it up. And there's no action on it, I just thought I'd bring it up.
Okay.
Ms. Hall, I see, yes, you may approach, Ms. Hall, if you have some comments?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Good morning, Ms. Hall.
Good morning.
I don't, are you on the agenda on anything?
No, I was just going to speak during the initial.
Communication,
part here.
okay, sure.
Yeah, I appreciate you remembering me. Good morning to everyone.
Good
Yes,
morning.
Good morning.
My name is Elsa Hall, for those of you who don't know. This is my fiance, Jesse G.
Good to meet you, sir, yes.
We and my two daughters, we live in the San Ignacio Viejo subdivision. It's off of Highway 83, a couple miles south of San Ignacio. And we're here to ask for some help regarding the enforcement of an ordinance passed by the county in March of 2021. It was adopting the local government code, Title 7, Chapter 235.022, which regulates the discharge of firearms on lots less than or equal to 10 acres.
Correct.
In subdivisions in unincorporated areas of the county. Now, our subdivision, it consists of 1 acre lots along La Loma and Armadillo Roads. No one out there owns more than 10 acres, yet there continues to be numerous violations of this ordinance. In the past, the sheriff's office has gone out there and responded to some shooting that was reported and spoke with the individuals and made them aware of this ordinance. They've also enforced it at a neighbor's property who is having similar issues. He's up closer to the highway in the same subdivision. However, the weekend before last, we called to report some very close, consistent shooting to the sheriff's office. And when we spoke with them, neither the dispatcher, a sergeant, a deputy, spoke to several people, they didn't seem to be aware of this ordinance. And they kept telling me, that's a hunting area, or, oh no, it only applies inside the town of Zapata.
No.
And I was concerned with that, and it continued throughout the day, so I called back several times. And then I was told, well, a deputy did go out there, he heard some shooting, but he didn't stop and talk to anybody, he just turned around and left. And it was continued, all day long. And it only stopped when the people, they don't live in Zapata County, they went back to Laredo. I never did hear back from the sheriff's office. A couple days later, a game warden did go out to the area, and they ended up issuing a citation to the individual in Laredo for killing a protected bird species. I can't help but think that maybe if the deputy would have stopped and talked to them, and they may not have really been aware that they're not allowed to shoot. If he would just have informed them, maybe that could have all been avoided.
You think some signage in those neighborhoods might help?
That's one of
limited
the things
access.
we were gonna ask, if, there's only one entrance, maybe if the county could put a sign as per county ordinance,
Right,
whatever.
I think that might help, Commissioner.
And, that's one of the things we wanted to bring up, but also, the people at the sheriff's office, some of them don't seem to be
Well,
aware
we
of
have
it, and
the
some
chief
of them
of
are.
staff here, Mr. Ramirez, good morning. I think it's under communications, there's nothing on the agenda, Mr. Ramirez, but, Chief, but, well, Ms. Hall is speaking about the 10-acre ordinance that no discharge of firearms, if you have 10 acres or less. And there seems to be a problem in Old San Ignacio Viejo, and apparently some of your staff was not aware of the ordinance, so maybe it's something that we can, I don't know if you could speak up
I
on
would
that.
have to go back and check, when was the date that happened?
Well, here recently, it was October 14th, and then it happened again this past weekend, Saturday and Sunday, different lots on either side of us, and we called it in, and, and this time you could hear the ricocheting, and so I
Oh,
don't know
that's
what it was
dangerous, so, yeah,
ricocheting off of.
I'm sure the sheriff will look into that.
That was-
and,
Look into it.
That was
We'll
very
look into it.
concerning, so yeah, I would appreciate that, anything y'all can do to help enforce that consistently. And even one of your county water operators was out there that day doing their sampling at a flush valve.
Yeah.
And he expressed his concern, I was afraid I was gonna get shot, and I was like,
Well, that's
yeah,
why you
it's
don't want
kind
a
of,
dangerous
they didn't
situation.
even stop when the county guys were out there. And so, yeah, we enjoy being outdoors, but we're concerned for the safety. It's not like it used to be. There's more people living out there now. And there's just not enough space for hunting or shooting like you would have on a big old
I think
ranch.
some of the problem may be associated, a lot of that river bottom is, government land, National Boundary Water Commission land. I think we
Right.
might have to bring them into the conversation.
And I have.
Yeah, you have.
Yes,
Okay.
I have, and I've spoken with them, and they said, there's not a lease there, and even if there was,
There's
that's
no
not
hunting allowed
either.
there.
So, yeah, and the game wardens
Federal
were
game
saying the
warden.
same thing, and.
Yeah, there shouldn't be any hunting on government
Yeah,
lands here.
and then they killed a protected bird species that was just totally unnecessary,
Yeah.
and.
I know,
somebody's issued
Judge,
citations.
good morning.
Yes,
Judge Green, I know
Good
you've
morning,
been,
for the record, Judge Olina.
yes.
I know that this was, Elsa had called me and I told her that I would come over just in case she needed, she had some questions, but it was adopted in March 2021.
Yes, I remember you sponsoring that, yes.
And I know that during my time as a JP, I've been getting several calls that there has been shooting in 10 acres and less, that what can we do? So Elsa called me as well, so I told her just bring it up to Commissioner's Court. I know before, Judge, they did have some signs on some of these ranches, but they were removed, I don't know by who. But
Well, I think we
they-
just need to be more specific as to, on the
On the
signage.
wording on it.
Including the ordinance and why we don't allow hunting on those parcels. So I think that the commission will work on a complete signage to those entrances to those areas.
Okay, I appreciate it. Did you want to say something, Jessica?
Well, if I could just add, it's not so much the hunting, it's the random shooting,
Of course.
that's going on, I don't know they're hunting, but they are shooting, and then what type of weapons they're shooting, it sounds like automatic weapons, rapid fire, and then, the ricocheting shots that we heard, so, wow, they're ricocheting, where's that going? They could be shooting at a mound, but now it's ricocheting, and I just wanted to add, the situation that we are faced with is something similar to that once the bell has been rung, it cannot be unrung. Once the bullet is fired, there is no point of no return. But the point is that there is an ordinance in place that has rung the bell that cannot be unrung, provided that the trigger is not pulled in compliance with the no shooting ordinance. Bullets are rude. They never knock before entering. This time it was a protected zipolote that was shot and killed. We are asking our Zapata County officials to please act and enforce the no shooting ordinance before a child comes to harm. Thank you.
Thank you,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
And certainly we will follow up with that and
I
of
know
course.
that I reached out to the sheriff, and he was looking into it. I called you back on Friday.
Yes, sir.
I don't know
Thank
if
you
he
for.
reached out over the
replying.
weekend or not, but he said that he was getting everything in place so that they can go out there and enforce what was.
Okay, yes, I was hoping to get a report number. I haven't heard
Yeah.
back yet, but
They're
hopefully I
getting
will
all
this
that
week.
for you. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms.
Paul.
Hall.
Any other communications, Commissioner? Oh, yes, Mr. Holt, yes, Chris, good morning, sir.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning, Mr. Holt.
Good morning.
I don't believe you have an item on the agenda either.
No, sir. I thought it was on the agenda, but it was on the last agenda.
Okay.
For the record, my name is Christopher Holt. My address is 3378 North US Highway 83, Zapata, Texas. The reason I come before you today is on the last meeting, it was brought up regarding the reimbursement of pay for the dog food. It was brought up that I had obtained a PO at times for the dog food,
Okay.
which I provided receipts to the HR director of every time I bought dog food for myself, or I even had to buy dog food one time for Deputy Dominic Madrid, who's no longer with us, because the process of obtaining PO was long, and at one time they had a Tractor Supply card. The guys tried to use it, it wouldn't work. So,
So this was at your time as a K-9 officer?
as a
for-
canine with the sheriff's office, yes.
Okay, all right.
So it was just a lot easier to, purchase my own dog food. I know that, we never really had a process, we never ever had a agenda as far as how we were gonna do it. There was never anything written up by the sheriff's department on how we were gonna obtain dog food or kennel care or anything like that. I do have copies of this that I'd like to leave with y'all.
Yeah, you can leave that for the record with our HR director and the county clerk. And I know I spoke with Ms. Nelly Trevino, I guess a couple of days ago regarding that. And so she was totaling the amounts that are owed, and certainly those reimbursements will be coming.
Okay.
So we just need to make sure we reconcile the amounts and make sure that the amounts are actually done. But that's it.
Okay, I did get with her because I think she was misunderstood, Judge, regarding, also the pay by the federal law of being paid for 30 minutes a day, 365, for at home
Oh, as
care
an
for your
officer.
dogs. So,
Okay.
yeah, and I did figure it up, real quick here in 2021. I was employed January to February, 47 days, and then I returned May through December, 244 days. 2022, 365 days, 2023, 239 days, for a total of 895 days at 30 minutes a day. Now, that could be off a few days, it could be more a few days, I understand. The reason I come before you today is because I received a phone call this past week from Mr. Pena, basically telling me, and I have it recorded, and I'd be more than happy to play it for y'all, that I'm
Mr.
playing.
Peña is.
With the sheriff's office,
Okay.
Joe Pena, that I'm playing bullshit games with taxpayers' money, and it got heated, the conversation got heated, and I felt like I was being,
Well, Mr. Holt, I think we don't have any items on the agenda to address that, but certainly, you can request that through our HR director for the
Okay.
next meeting. So you want to include, you feel your owed, time, as a K-9 officer that is, required by federal law.
you know, Judge, it's not about whether or not I get a dime out of this, I really don't care.
But you just, okay. then we're not-
I just think it's for our future deputies, they're gonna be K-9 officers, and they're gonna be told, hey, we're gonna give you a stipend, or we're gonna give you this, we're gonna give you that. It needs to happen. We take pride in what we do, and it's not about the money.
Right,
It's
no,
about
I
the
understand,
money.
no, but if, you know, it's required by federal law, certainly we want to comply with federal law. So we will bring that up in our next meeting, and hopefully you can attend and bring, you know, any other, but today we can't take any
Yes,
action.
I understand.
Were you, just real quick, Mr. Holt, were you clocking in for these, days that you're claiming that you were not compensated for?
The way the law reads, sir, it's 365 days a year, 30 minutes a day, whether you're on duty or off duty. It's all stated right here. I have 5 copies. She can dole them out to you. Basically, it states whether you're home or at work, you're paid for the maintenance of your dog.
Okay.
So,
Sounds good.
All right, Mr. Holt, and we'll certainly, put that on the agenda, place it on the agenda for.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Holt.
thank you, ma'am.
Any other communications? I did attend, so there was a 70-year, I guess, anniversary of the construction of Falcon Dam held on Friday, October the 20th. And I did attend, certainly a really nice ceremony. We had representatives from the sister city of Guerrero Nuevo now, the mayor and officials from the International Boundary and Water Commission. And there was a guest from City of Roma and Starr County, and it was a very nice event. What was a little striking was that, of course, I did speak there at the event, and the sheriff was there also, and his staff. Our fire chief, along with the assistant fire chief, were there, so I appreciate them being in attendance. I did speak on, you know, the benefits of the dam, what it has, the promises that I guess have been kept by the construction, flood control and providing irrigation water and allowing the lower Rio Grande Valley to prosper and grow. But I did remind those folks, and it was striking that 70 years have passed, and a lot of those in attendance don't know the history of exactly the sacrifice that mainly the residents of Zapata County bore and are still bearing to some respects on the construction of that bridge. And it was striking that most folks don't remember, don't care to know history of how our town, our residents had to be resettled. A lot of our families lost our ancestral lands. We lost our international bridge. So there was a lot of costs associated by the construction of this bridge, of this dam, and the people of Zapata County bore almost the entire cost of it. And I just felt it's necessary to remind people of the history and continue to remind people of the sacrifice that the residents of Zapata County made for the benefit of so many more. And a lot of folks just tend to forget what occurred. So I did remind the audience there of exactly what has occurred and the sacrifices that our community continues to make. Of course, the recreational aspect of Falcon Reservoir was never high on the list, but it was certainly a promise that enticed many folks in Zapata to say, well, at least there's be some future in our small community to at least reap some rewards from this lake, from our sacrifice. But as we've seen now, droughts and over demand on the water, the Falcon Reservoir is basically non-existent for the most part. We don't have that tourism that was promised to our community. And now, frankly, and I mentioned there, we basically struggle to draw water from a muddy Rio Grande that we thought we would never be a problem of drawing water to Zapata residents. So I did remind the audience there, I don't know if anybody really listened or care, but I think it's important for us to keep telling the story of the sacrifice our parents, grandparents, and great-grandparents made for the construction of this dam. I thought I'd bring that up today. We'll move on to any other communications. We'll move on to public comment. This section provides the public the opportunity to address the Commissioners Court on any items on the agenda. Any members of the public wish to address the court? We'll move on to item number 6, approval of invoices. We have invoices in your package from October 6, 2023 to October 19, 2023 for a total of $591,784.47.
Motion to approve as presented.
Motion to approve as presented by Commissioner Mendoza, seconded by Commissioner Solis. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Moving on to item number 7, approval of checks issued and the same dates, October 6, 2023 to October 19, 2023 for a total of $591,784.47.
Motion to approve as presented.
Motion by Commissioner Mendoza to approve, seconded by Commissioner Solis. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carried. We'll move on to reports and presentation. This is item number 8, is a presentation and action on the Zapata County Soil and Water Conservation District budget request. Mr. Jose Lilier.
And our district employee, Belinda, she's very vital.
Thank you, Mr. Lilier, for joining us this morning.
It is a pleasure. Unfortunately, I remember 1954.
Oh, thank you.
I remember the old town. It may not seem possible, but I used to just love driving through old Zapata. I was with, of course, in the back of the pickup,
yes,
with my dad. But now I come before you today to let you know that the Soil and Water District in Zapata County, number 335, is closing in on its 70th anniversary. We've been around as long as Whataburger. And I want you to know that this past year, we finally got some of the funding levels back. We were impacted by the pandemic, and we had been at around $1 million per year coming into this county for conservation contracts. This past year, we closed out with 38 applications, and we were able to fund 20 of them. And those 20 met an obligation of $801,000. And we have, I think 11 of those contracts have been completed, and we have expended $496,000. Those are real dollars that end up in this county for contractors. Landowners don't really make any money on it, but it's an incentive for them to conserve our natural resources.
And it's a wonderful sight to see beautiful buffalo grass
It's
on those.
beautiful buffalo grass. Right now, we're hurting for a little runoff water.
Yes.
And hopefully it's coming. But I just want you to know, we're gonna request the same amount as last year, the $31,000. It helps us keep our office open.
Sure.
This office in Zapata County is a resource for Jim Hogg, Brooks, and Starr. Starr County has a lot of contracts. Belinda's very key in keeping all that happening. So basically, your money is not just helping us, which is primarily what it does, but it is a resource team that's situated here. We've got 3 full-time jobs, 2 of them are federal, and it's a good thing that happens in this county. I'm very proud of the landowners that continue to come in and are willing to spend money to try to keep soil in place. And we have good soil in Zapata County, and we have strong agricultural producers, and that's gonna be a part of our future, and it's part of our history.
Yes, yes, of course.
And that's
it's
it.
a very small investment that the county makes for the amount of rewards
The
and improvements.
return is, and I'll have you know that we're in the top 10 counties in the state of Texas, and that's 254 counties. And
I'm sure that we're very fortunate because you are involved at the state level for many years, and it does make a difference.
It does to a certain degree. We appreciate the federal government too, but for me, my sincere appreciation of this Commissioner's Court and you, Judge, your support is an example for the other counties. When they hear about it, they ask me, how do you do it? I said, well, I bring these numbers in. They're not bringing those numbers in. And it's the fact that maybe they're not working with the county population and the rural folks like they should. And we take it a step further. We work with the school district.
Yes.
We have kids that compete, and we're very proud of some of the essays they've written. And when they go and speak before a state convention representing this county, I swell up with pride.
Absolutely.
And so I thank you for your support, and I hope we can continue this partnership.
Thank you so much. And Belinda, you do a great job. I'm one of those producers that visits your office often. I thank you for your support and
And
helping.
it's open to anybody, and we work under this principle, every acre counts. If you own 2 acres, come see us. We'll work with you.
Thank you, Mr.
All right,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Judge, can we take action under this to approve the budget, or?
We could, and we'll include it in next year's budget. It's included for this year's budget,
Okay.
the same amount request, but certainly, yes, if you wanna make that motion, and that way we won't have any discussion.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and make the motion just to approve their budget request.
For the 31,000.
31,000, Commissioner.
Yes.
Motion by Commissioner Mendoza to, present, and include the $31,000 request for the next fiscal year's budget, which will be, the 24-25 fiscal year budget.
Thank you
Okay.
so much.
Seconded by Commissioner Morales.
We've turned in our budget and
Yes,
everything else.
all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, we'll,
Thank you, Mr. Oliva. Thank you.
we have a presentation now, item number 9 is from AMT Auctions. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
The county as a whole, we've discovered, auctions, especially online auctions the last few years, and certainly been, I think, a good thing for
Yes,
us.
definitely. I think we were missing out on a lot of funds in years prior before we moved on to this new, more advanced method of auctioning off our equipment.
Absolutely, absolutely correct. My name is Felix Barreras. I'm the owner of AMT Auction. My license number is 17102. On my left-hand side, this is Mario Reyes. He is our sales manager for Upline Company. We are currently based out of San Antonio, Texas, and I will tell you, 90% of our work comes from Laredo all the way down to Brownsville to Corpus Christi. We hardly work in all over San Antonio, and there's specific reasons for that. When we started this company, we didn't have an actual plan of what we wanted to do, but we were very fortunate to actually take on some serious contracts immediately. And that quickly rose our ranks into some very trustworthy positions, as Marty will explain to you guys a little bit later. Judge, I just wanted to mention this real quick. You mentioned that you were talking about the bridge or the dam that was built here, and that's really interesting. You need to pass that information on to, your younger generations. I recently, within the last 10 days, showed my son my ancestral town that no longer exists. It's a place called San Marcial, New Mexico. And that place was actually underwater after the dam was built, so all the people had to be displaced.
Right.
So we went on to a place called Socorro, New Mexico. So it's very important. I just showed my son that. I wanted him to understand, you know, where his DNA comes from. I'm trying to make, you know, family thing about it. Even though we don't live in New Mexico anymore, we live right in San Antonio, it's our home.
I think it's very important, yes, that, what the folks here had to endure, and I'm sure your families, had the same,
Hardships.
experience, yes, it's hardship, and, yes.
Well, you know, we go on. The thing about the human race is that it's very resilient and our ability to survive. Get back to my company. But that was really very interesting as you mentioned that, and I was like, wow, that's just so cool. In my company now, we do have a track that we want to follow. We want to follow it down to the borders and all the way back over to San Antonio. And our goal is to unite the counties and cities in all those areas, so that we can provide them, you know, the technologies that are actually on market. We provide it, we say it with all the latest. Two of the platforms that we do use is HiBid and ProxyBid, the two largest platforms on the internet. And what we were able to do and accomplish, and even just through COVID, when we were working with the city of Corpus Christi, is to overcome those issues of being locked down and restricted. Those just opened the doors even further. But even prior to that, we've been working online, so we're well versed in all of that, as Mario will explain to you. We're down here because we're hoping that we can maybe grow our company right here in Zapata County. I saw a lot of pride and happiness in you talking about your counties and your work here. I absolutely love that, and I respect that. Hopefully you can allow us to enjoy that with you guys as well. I'll pause for a second. I'll let Mario finish up the presentation, and afterward, if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer it. Thank you guys very much for having us.
Morning, County Judge, Commissioners.
Morning.
Mario Reyes. So, like Mr. Barreras was saying, the CEO for our company, AMT's been around since 2012, and it's very well versed on the platforms that you were saying, online, webcast, and live auctions. And they've had a very big success with the clients that they have, and you'll see throughout the presentation how successful it is. And the good thing about the company is that it's versed in everything that you can think that can be liquidated, from a microphone over to the computer, to construction equipment, to furniture. Anything that you think that can be liquidated can be liquidated. And you're gonna see throughout the presentation, sometimes you might think it's trash. It might be sitting in the corner of a room or something, and it might be somebody else's treasure somewhere else. So, you know, the team itself consists of these individuals. You know, Christine has 13 years of experience, Alfred 24 years of experience, Richard 15 years of experience, Mr. Barrera 13 years of experience, and we have an IT team, we have a graphics and advertising design, and setup maintenance. This whole team will work for your county at no cost. We will be doing everything. We will be doing setting up the website, we'll be setting up the lots, we will be doing everything. The company has over 80 years of experience with all the auctioneers that we have working for the company, and not just because I'm part of the company, but let me say, the company has really good auctioneers from the state of Texas. Credible auctioneers. And that's another thing that the company does, is that it filters out those individuals that will put out bids and then don't pay up later on. We work with a state that has a bank of individuals that have history of doing that, of putting out bids out there and then at the end not paying or not picking up the stuff. The demographics of our bidders is international. Believe it or not, we have a lot of clients in Mexico, we have clients in Canada, and all over the United States. So when you put up a piece of equipment for sale, it's not just gonna be here in Zapata. It's not just gonna be here in Texas. We're gonna have people from all over looking at the item. And we already know which buyers are looking for what, so we'll give them a heads up and let them know, hey, you're interested in this, this is coming up on one of our auctions. The services that we provide for the county or whatever client that we have, once again, we do everything. We do the materials, the computing, the registration, the cashiering, the making sure that the lots are set up, the pictures. We do everything for you. The day of the auction, we will fill out the out of sale receipts on auction day. We will print out all the necessary reports and sales for the day and prices information. And then at the end of the day, we will give 100% of all the revenue that was picked up to the county. Then on a later date, we will invoice the county for whatever our share was going to. I explained and I said that we take care of all the pictures and the registration. And most important is that we give it the personal attention and we make sure that the bidders are able to see the lot items. I recently came from an auction that we didn't do because we like to see the competitors' auctions, and they'll kind of bunch up a lot of stuff and then people don't know what they're buying or what they're selling. And sad to say, those kind of equipment and material end up staying through the cracks because it's not advertised properly, or it's not placed in the correct lot, or it's not sold properly. Total in sales. And this is just a figure of different agencies and clients that we have. For the city of San Juan, with one auction that they had, they were able to get $284,000 out of that auction. For Bronzeville ISD, in 1 year, they've done $400,000. For Hidalgo County, $1.2 million in 3 years. For Corpus Christi, $2.7 million. For UISD, 1.2 million years, and recently we just did 2 auctions for them. In the last auction itself, we sold over 6,000 computer, 7,800 computers, equipment, and they were able to get a price tag over $340,000, I believe. $340,000. We have people from New York, Florida, and Oklahoma, I believe, and Washington bidding for the items, for those computers. San Antonio impound, $23 million in 4.5 years. So this just gives you a round figure. Now, each client is different because they have different assets that they accumulate and that they sell. Nonetheless, we try and go out there to get the highest bid for your equipment. We don't want you to sell a tractor or a trailer for $100 or $500. We want to make sure that it goes out for the highest bid that we can get out there. And once again, all this revenue comes back to the county and it comes back to the people of Zapata. In summary, we have the drive, the experience you need. We follow the precautions as dedicated for the betterment of bidders, clients, and auction family. We look forward to being that mechanism to be able to help you liquidate your assets. And one important thing that I didn't mention throughout the presentation is that we're versed with certain grants that the state and federal have that need a certain way for you to liquidate equipment, certain equipment. You just can't sell certain stuff that was bought by a grant. There has to be a procedure that needs to be followed, or only certain people can bid on that. We're versed on that. We won't be getting into trouble for that. I'd like to thank you for your time. My name is Mario Reyes, and if you have any questions, Mr. Barreras will see you.
These are all no reserve auctions, right?
No reserve auction. Well, unless, of course, you do want to reserve on any item, that's fine. We can work with that. Guys, I want you to actually remember something about my company, is that we spend a great deal of time advertising. We just don't rely on our current buyers list. We advertise into Mexico. We advertise into your community. We advertise throughout the valley. We advertise to the state, and we put it on a national platform, so people anywhere can bid on that. Best thing about our auctions is that you can register and bid and win from any device at any time. The auction's going on. Please remember, we do a lot of advertising for you guys. If you guys have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them.
Is the fee a fixed rate, or do you go by whatever the fee that you all get after the total sales?
Actually, sir, we have a sliding rate depending on what the item is. We work on a commission basis, anywhere from 0 to 25%. We've never charged county or city government 25%. It's usually 0 to 5%. We do earn a commission rate from our buyers, and it's called a buyer's premium, and that's anywhere from 10 to 15%.
The buyers pay that, right?
The buyers pay that, you guys are not a part of that. So that if we sell we have $100,000 auction from you guys, we'll earn anywhere from 0 to 5% off that only. Now, in it, out of that commission, we pay out to buyer's premium, to proxy bid or high bid, a commission, because they charge us anywhere from 2 to 3%. We also incur 2 to 3% credit card fee. So immediately, right off the bat, we'll lose anywhere from 5 to 6% of our commission to just those fees. That doesn't include the labor costs that we put into it. We build a website, a web page for you on our website. We also have graphics designed for your banners. And then we start working on our social media and doing paid advertisement. We're also proud members of the National Auctioneers Association and the Texas Auctioneers Association. So we get free listings on those as well. So we have, like I said, a national reach for all your items. Mr. Reyes mentioned that we've sold literally around the world, and we're quite proud of that, to be truthful with you. If we can be of service, please call us. We're always looking for more.
Sure, we've got some information on you. I don't know if you want some business cards.
I have some, if anybody wants to pass them out, it'd be great.
And that'll give the commissioners, especially the sheriff's department, another option. The sheriff is the largest department in our county government, so.
We've done quite a bit of work with the sheriffs along
Okay.
the way.
All right, thank you. Yes.
Definitely a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Barreras.
And hopefully we'll be that mechanism that helps generate a little bit more revenue for the county.
Sure, we thank, we'll take it off. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
All right, we'll move on to the action items, Commissioners. We'll deliberate and consider action on item number 10 is to appoint 2 members for, I think it should read out a member.
Yes.
There's a typo there. To appoint a member for a 2-year term to the Zapata County Appraisal District Board. I think Commissioner Solis's term is up at the end of this year, Commissioner, so, you know, hopefully you can re-enlist.
Are you willing to serve?
I'm definitely interested.
I'll make a motion, Judge, that we reappoint Commissioner Solis to serve.
Motion by
for,
Commissioner
term.
Mendoza to reappoint Commissioner Solis to the County Appraisal District Board, seconded by Commissioner Morales. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Item number 11, thank you, Commissioner. Item number 11, to approve payment for border pool maintenance and supplies in the amount of $10,760.
Judge, this will be coming out of my budget. It was put on the agenda by accident, but I'm glad it was put in, so the court is willing to approve it, that they can include it with the checks that we're going out.
All right, and then
I'll make the
your parks budget?
Yes,
Okay.
parts budget, Judge.
All right,
Yes.
motion by Commissioner Mendoza to approve, seconded by Commissioner Gatsa. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
I did, so these pumps are operational, Commissioner?
Yes, everything is, the thing is, Judge, we recently drained the pool, there's a very big crack on the flooring of the pool right now.
Okay.
So we're trying to diagnose how severe it is and find ways to remedy that, because there's a lot of leaking going on.
Okay.
So right now, the pool is drained. Once we fix the crack, we're also gonna be repainting it.
Okay.
And then we'll go ahead and refill it, but everything is operational, all the motors, all the pumps are operational.
Very well. Okay, we'll move on to item number 12, is to consider 2 quotes from Martinez Electrical Services for improvements to the San Ignacio Civic Center. And I think in the packets,
Commissioner, is this coming out of your budget, or you're requesting it from non-department?
Non-department.
Motion to approve, Judge.
Also, I don't have a budget.
motion by Commissioner Mendoza.
And just for the record, I know it's there, we're looking at the ceiling fans. It's gonna be 8 ceiling fans, rewiring, making sure that they're operational, and then of course the lighting, it's already outdated.
That center is in need of upgrade.
We're looking
Commissioner, I
at
agree.
changing out 24 light fixtures there at the civic center in San Ignacio.
Good.
Those ceiling
The
fans
first
would be-
invoice, Mary Jane, is gonna be 3,054 with 37 cents.
How much is it?
3,054 with 37 cents.
Okay.
And the second one's gonna be 3,983 with 69 cents, for the record.
I got a motion, who seconded, Commissioner Gatsa? Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Item number 13 is to approve the hire of an equipment operator in slot number 15-422, slot number 7 at $10.48 an hour. Commissioner Morales.
So these.
Commissioner Solis makes a motion, seconded by Commissioner Mendoza, All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. You're filling up your cruises already? Yeah? Or done, okay. Item number 14 is to approve purchase of office furniture and supplies for the Zapata County shop. I saw the list, Commissioners. I know the shop has been a long time since we've done any upgrades to any of the furniture, anything inside that county shop building. So basically, it's a complete retrofit as far as furniture, desks, we got cabinets, we got some printers, of course, the toners, monitors. I think the total is, for everything from the Quill Corporation, is $5,017
with 67 cents.
$5,017 with 50 cents. Have y'all had a chance to review everything that was requested?
Yes.
Yeah, there's a-
I was just gonna ask Nelly, do we have any copy machine there on site? I thought we had a copy machine there, like at least.
There is and I believe they're getting, a new machine through, Rico.
So, I mean, would that kind of, remove the need for these laser printers that are on here? We already have a copy machine on site there.
I'm not sure. I'm sure that it's gonna be one like the offices have here.
Yeah, cause that's kind of what we have, the commercial. So Judge, I'll make a motion that we approve it, without including any printers or ink cartridges in the, on the list of the inventory.
Okay. Motion to approve, without cartridges or printers, which will, I mean, they've got them itemized, so we've got, we'll need to reduce the printer,
The printer was about-
521.55, toner was 101, cartridges 101.
521.55.
And the ink 101.69.
Okay.
101.69 for the yellow. And then for the black, 94.49.
Okay.
And then for the other one, it's 99.89.
Okay.
What the total, I have, let me
I have so far I have a total of 919.31. 919.31.
It'll be 4,161.
Yes. Yeah, because so.
For the record, how much?
For the record, it should be 4.
1, 2, 3,
Oh.
4 toners.
4. So it should be 4,161 with 11 cents.
That's correct. So I'll add that to my motion, Mary, as a total paid out, 4,161.11.
Motion by Commissioner Mendoza, is there a second?
I'll second that motion.
And this
Seconded by
is-
Commissioner Solis. Any
That's for line
discussion?
item 14.
Not department.
Yeah,
All
from
those
the
in favor
department.
say aye.
Aye.
All right. 15, to approve purchase of a new scanner for account payables and keyboards for the Treasurer's Department from non-department, as per quote from Mr. Rene Garcilaso.
That's for
This is a
1,000.
scanner, Judge, that, Belia needs for her checks.
Okay.
So,
Motion to approve, Judge.
What's the, what the amount is?
1,109.97.
1,109.97.
Yes.
Motion by Commissioner Mendoza, seconded by Commissioner.
And just for the record, it's a wireless keyboard. It's a 3-year office equipment protection plan and a scanner.
Yes.
That's fine. Motion and a second by Commissioner Morales. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Number 16 is to approve the implementation of the Catalyst Payment Solution for the tax office and county clerk's office. I was reading through it, there's no cost to the county with, there's no cost, and y'all are from, yeah, explain it to us that we don't know exactly what this is.
Keep submitting
That's what we
these.
like to hear, that there's no cost.
Keep submitting these.
No cost to the county. As far as I'm concerned, when we approved going with, I don't even know the name of the persons that we were working with, because they were from Zapata National Bank. They, we got everybody was supposed to.
Was this for like the merchant card services?
Yes,
or-
for the credit card.
Okay.
For the credit card payments. Everybody was supposed to go on board. Well, they left us
Out.
half, like in between. They didn't give us the complete amount of terminals for each of the stations, that we had agreed to. And then, so that actually we still have online payments through Forte, which is another credit card company.
and we have Clover as the one here in the office. But I don't think any other office.
So what type of agreements or contracts do we have?
Cause I know
I don't have one.
JPs take payments online, but I'm not sure what service provider they use.
We haven't been.
Yeah, maybe we
provided
can
that
offer
service.
that to like the JPs and stuff, where we can advertise
We
it.
may have some obligations with those other companies, I'm not sure.
I don't know that.
Who are you
Just pay
using,
them.
who are you using
Yeah.
From the other ones
We were
and get the free
using-
one.
We were using Forte.
Forte?
That was the one that we had before, and then we brought on the merchants from.
Or unless it's like a year.
Do you know, Mary Jane, what you,
We
what
don't use it.
obligations we may have contractual?
I don't, because we
And
don't
check
have
with
one.
Roxy. Roxy should have a copy of the contract.
Well, I think let's get some more info and not rush into something, because we may have some obligations.
Yeah, we
contractual
wanted to
obli-
kinda stay away from using a multitude of companies and kinda
Right.
just using one company
Yeah.
for everyone.
We don't
I
use
think that was
credit
the goal
cards.
at one time.
You don't use.
No,
And that was-
cash and check only. So far, it's,
That was
This would be a
what
first for
was
us.
agreed, and
Right.
it was approved in Commissioner's Court that everybody was going to come on board, but nobody else
Judge
came on
Bruni
board.
isn't here anymore,
And
but I
we're the
know-
ones that got stuck with,
With
you know.
Clover.
I know when we went to a convention in San Antonio, we went to a couple of businesses there that they offered credit card companies where JP's, sheriff's office, county employees, anybody could use that virtually.
Fees and fines. you
Yeah.
can pay, yeah.
The one good thing that caught my attention was the fact that they will give us a website
Correct.
at no cost. Gives us all the information on, you know.
Yeah, the cost is passed on to the payee.
Yeah.
No,
Well, I mean,
actually.
like if I'm paying a finer fee, I pay that fee, the county doesn't pay it, I pay it if I'm using a credit card, basically.
Yeah, it'll be like, let's say the 3.5% will be
Yeah.
applied to the.
Okay.
the
Yes.
that's my understanding.
On this particular one, he has given us a quote of 2.25, I believe, and $1.50, it's got it on here.
Yeah, that's all the fees there. I just don't know what arrangements we have.
Maybe we can, we can table it and then we'll bring it back as a
Yeah.
proposal for the next meeting and then
That's fine.
to make sure we find out what other companies we're obligated to.
We were looking at maybe later on, maybe March or April, when we would kind of go into it, but he kind of rushed it a little bit.
All right, well.
Motion to table? Motion to table,
I'll second
Commissioner
it.
Garza, seconded by Commissioner Mendoza. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion tabled. Item number 17 is to approve the temporary closure of the US Highway 83 and a resolution for the Christmas lighting parade to be held on December 6, 2023.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Solis, second by Commissioner Mendoza. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item number 18 is to approve proposal from Integrity Steelworks for supplies and installation of detention grade doors and frames at the Zapata County Regional Jail and Zapata County Jail. Total amount of proposal is $20,806.82.
Morning, Judge.
In a regular.
Judge, so the first quote that y'all got, the last Commissioner's Court, was for the inspection of all locks
Yes.
and all that stuff. So I tried to put this quote in the time that I requested. They couldn't, the person I did talk to said that it was gonna be impossible to submit it that day.
Okay.
When I submitted, so that's why I'm requesting.
So,
this.
so
Judge,
the locks will be changed on all the doors, right?
they're not gonna be changed, they're gonna be maintenance.
Oh,
Most of the
okay.
locks are good, but they're gonna do the maintenance cleaning and all that stuff regarding the locks, hinges, and the trap doors. And all the segregation cells, separation cells, they have a trap door, and they're gonna lubricate and all that stuff.
Okay.
That's what they're gonna do. That was the
Okay.
first quote. This second quote, Judge and Commissioners, that first door, I know we all have the pictures, but.
We do, I saw, I mean, it's hard to tell with the picture, but I'm sure they're in need, there's
Yeah,
some
Judge,
corrosion.
the first door at the female jail, which is this jail here, the main hallway has one exit door, so that's the main door to
Okay.
the south side. So if y'all can see the pictures, it's in need of us repairing or at least putting a new door and a frame. So.
And this, of course, is gonna ensure we pass inspection, is that correct, Chief?
Yes. So that door, when the inspection was done, it was documented there that it has to be, because it's a for security purpose.
Yeah, it's exposed to all the elements on the sun.
And it's been there since
The jail
The
was
county
built.
jail was built, yes. That second door, Judge, it's in the mechanical room at the regional jail.
Okay.
Which, that door, there's a double door there, but the only door that's gonna be replaced is gonna be the right side door and the frame. At the end of the day, I mean, we do have all the main breaker boxes there, the water pumps, everything's there, so that door needs to be locked. It has to be locked at all times. So when the guy came in, said that, you all need to replace that door, if you can see the bottom door at the right side, it's all rusted in the bottom, including the frames in both corners.
Is that the one at the Sally Port?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, that one.
I'm here first.
Judge, I'll make a motion that we approve the proposal, for Integrity Steelworks for the replacement of the doors at the regional and the county jail in the total amount of $20,806.82.
Motion by Commissioner Mendoza, seconded by Commissioner Morales. This will be coming from non-department.
Yes.
So we're eating up
We're
the
eating it
first
pretty hard.
month of the year, it's gone, okay.
It's needed, so it's justified.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Appreciate it, Judge.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank
Keep
you,
up the
Chief.
good work, Chief.
Number 19 is to increase the hourly rate of Marlena Salinas to $17 an hour in the Texas Veterans Commission Housing for Texas Heroes Grant. Funds are available with the grant.
Motion to approve,
Second,
Judge.
second.
Oh, good. Motion by Commissioner Mendoza, seconded by Commissioner Solis. So those grants are really making an impact, huh, with our
Yes,
veterans?
they are, Judge, yes, they are. Good morning, Judge, Commissioners.
Morning.
The money is in the actual grant, it's our biggest grant that we have right now.
Right.
And, Marty's been doing a great job, and I just wanted to make sure that she get compensated for what the grant was actually
That's fine,
budgeted for.
sure.
Is this a reoccurring grant year by year, or?
We're applying for it, as a matter of fact, Roxy has, she just published on the newspaper last Thursday, so we can, kind of reapply for the Texas Homes for Hero grant and the financial assistance, which is the one that assists with the water bills, electric bills, stuff
Correct.
like that.
There's been a lot of participation from our veterans, right?
Yes, yes, a lot,
Thank you, good
Judge.
job, folks,
Thanks to you guys.
Appreciate your
for
support.
bringing this funding to our veterans, man.
And you got a new office now.
Yes, thank you, appreciate it, thank you.
Keep up the good work,
Thank you,
Judge.
All right, thank you.
Thank
So we
you.
got a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Congratulations. Item number 20 is to review status of jail repairs and process payment requests. Mr. Gonzalez, good morning.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners.
Morning.
Mr. Gonzalez, were you also gonna state no cost to the county, or?
Yes, he was in it was in his mind.
It's about the county.
Yes, of course. The jail has been under repairs for some cracks that they had within the cells. We had done inspection on 10 cells, and then we needed to, there was some separation from the north wall to the cell, I believe it was 200, and the separation was maybe about 1.5 to 2 inches. So that got filled in with 5,000 PSI concrete. We also had some fillers to be done on the smaller cracks that there was. And there was an area by one of the showers that had cracked, and maybe about a 6 by 4 inch opening where we needed to fill that in. That got filled in as well. We did an inspection on Friday. All the work has been completed in accordance to the requirements that we had provided to the contractors. And the invoice for the contractor is $18,935. That is his total due at this time. That includes the extras that were approved at the last.
We did some change orders, yes.
Yeah, we didn't approve them at that court. It was just to get them approved into the budget. So that's already included in there. They have been previously paid $10,071, but that's already been deducted from this particular.
So the percentage of completion that we're at already?
Is 100%.
100%.
Yeah.
After this payment, will be 100% paid off?
Yes, and they finished ahead of time. Mr. Barragan and his crews, they were out there. We gave them 30 days, which was a very strict timeline because we had to move inmates from one cell to another, and they were able to comply with that, which I was.
What was the number of cells that were addressed? I don't
10.
remember. 10.
10.
It was
Mr. Gonzalez, you said it was 18,935?
Um,
18,000.
Yeah, 18,935.
So for the total project with what we've given them and the 18,935 would be $29,006.
Yes, I have it right here.
Does
It
this
was
is-
22,380 originally.
Okay.
And then 6,626 with the approved changes. And then you had previously paid 10,071. So that leaves you at 18,935. And then we invoiced for our time for the inspections and the bidding process. I have an invoice for 1,500 and we invoiced 1,500 last time.
Motion to approve final payment of 18,935.
And the $1,500.
And the $1,500 to
I'll second.
Don't forget that.
And
Motion by
we're,
Commissioner Solis, seconded by Commissioner Mendoza.
did we release the retained funds that were retained as well?
It is being released on this one.
Okay.
We had retained from the previous one.
Okay.
We did the final inspection.
And this is also in
That's
London
been-
Department.
it's already done, and-
Yeah, we had
did all
approved this
the-
one from last year, yeah, so it's coming out this year.
Okay, perfect.
We did release the retained strips that we had kept from the last meeting, and, all the punch list items have been completed.
Did we pay that on last year's budget, half of it from last year's budget?
I think we did.
I believe we did.
We paid part.
I'm not sure. I mean, I know I had approved in the previous year's budget. I
Okay.
don't know how that's gonna work. We'll let the auditor and the treasurer
I mean,
figure out.
if we could
I
pay
mean,
from
it's
last
still
year's
coming out of the
budget.
same pot,
Yeah.
which
Yeah,
is
but
really
if it's
low.
last year's, yeah, if it's last year's budget.
Yeah,
then
because I think got
we're-
approved in last year's budget, so.
So we could pay out of last year's budget, just remind Mr. Gonzalez, then please.
Okay. We got a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Moving on, item number 21 is to review the status of Los Ebanos Road and process payment request.
So, on that project, Judge, is, and Commissioners, the contractor is approximately 95 to 97% complete. There's a 8-inch line that was installed. It was 1,100 feet.
Okay.
And that has already been, I guess, filled and pressurized. They're doing bacteriological testing, the county's doing that, so that it can be then, all the services have been placed, that hasn't been switched over, so that's where we're at the 95%
Okay.
complete. The subgrade has been put in and compacted. We did have to put in some concrete in a few spots where the old line was encountered and the new line was right above it. We were a little shallow, where we maybe wanted to be at 2 to 3 feet, and maybe we're like at 18 inches to 20 inches. So we put in some concrete fill to protect the line, and then we, filled the rest of it with regular subgrade.
Okay.
That got compacted, and we put in the millings that were provided, we put in some of the oil. We are, doing a final compaction this, today and tomorrow, and, to give it a final seal, but that'd be pretty
So how
much.
does it look, Commissioner? I mean, I would drove it, it was still not.
A little soft.
Right, it's pretty much done like you mentioned. They're just gonna, I think we had problems with the rotor, is that correct? With the county
Yes,
rotor?
the rotor that we, the county
Vibrating.
has, it doesn't have,
Doesn't roll.
mechanism.
No, it rolls, it doesn't vibrate.
Yeah.
So he went on to rent.
And he leaks
another one,
oil, so.
they'll continue today and tomorrow, but it's a lot better than what it was, so I'm really happy
It's
for
a
the
lot
residents around
better.
there.
So, and this is the first time we use that new bonding agent, correct? That
It
we're,
is the
so we're
first
kind of
time we use
experimenting
bonding.
with it.
Yes, and, there is a section right in the corner when we make the turn. That section's gonna be cut, and we're gonna regrade that, because right now, and even before, it holds water on the east side of the road there.
Yeah, right at the curve, right?
Yes, right at the curve, and it's initially had a concrete, paths to the side of the golf course. They did clear out a section into the golf course so that the water would release properly. There's gonna be some concrete placed on the 2 manholes that are on that road, just so that it can protect the lids, and then also on there was 3 valves that were installed. The county was able to do this project on a
Shoestring budget.
shoestring budget, yes, because, on the line itself would have been about, just the installation of the line would have been about $40,000, and I think you're just under that, for that plus a subgrade plus but.
Yeah, and it was the old lines that we had for the county. We just had to replace the I guess the backing
They,
or the.
they just had to get cleaned up. I did speak with a manufacturer from Ferguson Materials on the quality of the pipe, and he, assured me that, those pipes last 50 years. And, on those gaskets, once we cleaned them, we did ensure that they were properly installed or attached, that they were not crumbling or coming apart. And, we were able to utilize some of the equipment that we have and some assistance from the county crews, which, that made it into a pretty efficient, project.
And when we first started talking about this, we were gonna, start off with the curb, is that correct, Mr. G?
Yes.
We're gonna start off with the curb because it's extremely dangerous, you know, we're driving, we had people coming in and out using the.
Half of the
road,
opposite.
the west side, you know, of the road, so, you know, but with the cost and everything, you know, we said, we used last year's budget and this year's budget, so we're extremely happy, it turned out very nice, and, you know, those residents, they needed that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're very fortunate that we have that partnership with TechStar where we get those, excess materials
We're gonna
from
get
the-
any more?
Yeah.
those,
I talked to Mr. Fred. Unfortunately,
the new projects.
the new project, the contractor is the one in charge of all the millings.
Yeah.
So they parked that. So now they have a whole bunch stacked up currently at the tech dot. But he said everything's on hold for now because he had mentioned that at the end of the fiscal year we could start reapplying to go get more millings.
Yes.
So I called him and he said all of that is parked at the moment.
It's my understanding that every job or every new contract, certain contractors include that they keep the millings and others
Half and
include
half
that
or
they don't
whatever
want
it is,
it.
yeah.
So this new project coming up, the contractor will be keeping the millings, so
Well,
maybe we could talk to them and see. if
Yeah, I
they're
told
willing
him to get me the number to the contractor so maybe we can communicate with him and work something out.
Cause this definitely helped us out.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
They'll be doing, I guess, all of 83, or redoing 83, and then, what I've noticed also is that they're taking out the culverts and replacing them with new culverts, but
Yeah,
the
that's
culverts
a-
they're removing are in good shape, so
Yeah.
we can request those.
Yeah, I requested that from him as well.
Good.
And he said, yeah, go ahead and request everything. But then this came up where the contractor's saying with most of it or with everything. So I said, okay, well, give me the contractor's name.
Yeah.
And we'll go from there.
So I have, I'm pending an invoice from the contractor for just some of the concrete that was installed. He had already built the majority of it, and I will bring that one for the next meeting. I do have one for us. I didn't submit one for the last budget, so it's, ours is at 3,000, and that's it.
Motion to approve the invoice for Premier Engineering for $3,000 on that project.
Motion by Commissioner Mendoza, seconded by Commissioner Solis. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Gonzalez.
you, Mr. Gonzalez.
Item number 22 is to approve payments for administrative services on the following projects: the Miraflores Park project, the program site improvement, and the EOC Center, requested by Carlos Colina Vargas, project consultant.
Do we know if this has been completed, Judge, as far as his responsibility on this, or
You know that, the park.
Commissioner, are you aware?
The park, yeah, it's already, we're looking at having a little groundbreaking ceremony.
Okay.
And all that, we're,
So he's requesting, I guess we can go one by one on the Miraflores Park. He is requesting, of course, the compensation for the entire project was $15,000 on the $150,000 grant. The $3,000 application, compensation has been paid, and he's making a request for half of the $15,000, which is $7,500 consulting fees on that project. On the
Boat ramp?
Boat ramp project, and I think we need to review them. I don't have the entire amount. I don't have a lot of information on that boat ramp project, exactly, what was the entire compensation for them. So I think we can approve the Miraflores. On the boat ramp, I think I need to discuss with him exactly how much monies are available and how far along we are on the project. I know we had I guess a planning grant. We haven't received a construction grant.
Not yet. We're on phase 1 right now.
Yeah.
So he's requesting $47.50 on the boat ramp?
Yeah,
That is correct.
and the project's still not approved, right?
Well, the planning was approved. I just don't know if the entire amount, of 19,000 is what we agreed on. I'm not sure, I haven't seen.
What about the EOC one, Judge?
Well, we can approve, I don't have a problem with the Miraflores, I know that has moved along, I just don't know exactly how much we agreed to on the boat rent.
And the EOC is also the 7,500
What
or?
about the EOC, the Emergency Operations Center, that's another
The
75?
EOC, yes, he's requesting the total amount of 30,000 is for the entire grant. He's requiring the initial payment of $7,500. 25% progress. We've have paid him already $10,000 of the 30. Has a plan been submitted for that? I know, ma'am, where you've been handling most of it. Mr. Vargas is not entirely available most of the time.
On that project, Judge, we did submit the plans and specs for review. They are at the agency side. There still needs to be the construction side of it, where you do have funds for it. So once those plans get sent back to the county, authorizing for us to go out for bids, then we'll bid it out, but then there will be, during the construction portion, there will be payment requests from the contractors that will be processed. We'll process those for the county, and then at the end, we'll do a closeout, and there's usually some documents that need to be submitted during the closeout.
So we haven't received any actual funds yet from the EOC project?
I'm not sure if you've received funds yet or not.
The only what we've expended has been the 10,000 plus some engineering fees, which has been minimal.
Yeah.
But, no, so the reimbursements need to come from Mr. Colina, and frankly, we haven't received even the 10,000. It's not a huge amount, but I have a problem increasing our exposure.
I'll make the motion that we only pay out the 7,500 for the Miraflores project, and we'll wait on the other two until we get some information from him on the status of those projects.
All right, we got the motion by Commissioner Mendoza to approve the payment of
7,500
on the Miraflores Park improvements, and we'll wait for some additional info from our consultant before we approve the other two invoices. Motion seconded by Commissioner Solis. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. All right, Commissioners, we'll move on to resolutions and proclamation. Item number 3 is a resolution for the 2024 Indigent Defense Grant Program.
Motion to approve as presented.
Motion to approve resolution as presented by Commissioner Mendoza, seconded by Commissioner Garza. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Motion to adjourn, Judge.
Motion to adjourn by Commissioner Mendoza, seconded by Commissioner Solis. We are now adjourned. Thank you folks for joining us this morning.
Do we have to sign this? No, that's your agenda.